Same.
Ready? Hello and welcome to episode 33 of Nerds and Words. I have the distinct honor of being your host today, Tim Allen 1337, joined as always with the man who would have created the shim if it wasn't already invented, Potion Shop TV.
I don't know what that is.
and the man who is immune to all women's charm, Moreland TV.
What does that mean?
That you're immune to women's charm.
There's a few different ways I can take that.
How would you like to take it?
I'll assume you mean I'm not a simp. Yeah.
Oh, are we allowed to say that word?
Oh, I don't know. What if I'm saying I'm not? Can you say someone's not a bad word? I don't know.
I don't think it works like that. If you apply it with some other connotations and other words, it's not sounding right in my head.
Yeah, that's true.
Anyway, it's a call of 5 seconds for this to get derailed. We have almost no BDO news to go over because the patch notes are light as we get ready for the transfer of publishing. But we're going to go through it anyway and talk about what we've done in the week as we start off always. Potion Shop, how was your week, bud?
Week was pretty good. I'm currently getting finished up with the music album. So all the music's done. I have to do some tidying up on the sounds for it and get the art done. And but that's what I've been working on this week, is getting a new music album done.
Very cool.
As far as BDO goes, not a whole lot.
From start to finish.
Say again?
How long does that take from start to finish?
A music album, it depends on, honestly, how much time I put into it. But we're trying to do one music album every 2 months is the goal I'm going for. So this one's been...
Sounds like a lot.
Yeah, and it's about an hour of music.
When's your next Infinite stream?
Probably early March, maybe? I don't know. I don't want to think about it.
Are you still making gains to BDO?
Yeah, I got another Cavers level recently. I got a Cavers level in the helmets. I think I'm Cavers level, what is it, 6 now? Yeah. So not a whole lot, little small things. I'll probably hit it hard after this music album's done and I can get back to streaming.
Yeah, I can imagine after 500 hours, you might still be a little burnt out.
Yeah, it's not really... It's just a lack of motivation to play BDO. It's not really burnout. Like, I enjoy playing games all day long. That's not like a problem, but it's really the motivation behind it. It's like, why do I really need 10 more DP or one more Cavers level or whatever? And I just find it hard to wake up and get motivated for that right now. Once we have the changeover, we have a lot of events going on, stuff like that, maybe that'll change a little bit. That's what I'm kind of banking on. Oh, triple threat sneeze. I'm
good.
You can't hear. You couldn't see it if you're on Spotify. But that sneeze, that sneeze right there would power cities.
We're contractually obligated to make comments about Moreland sneezing every time he sneezes on the podcast.
I only got 3. I kind of wanted a 4th one.
But yeah, that's about it for me.
Sneezing is like one of the most physically pleasurable things in the world to me.
It's true. It is.
So how was your week, Moreland?
Amazing, dude. I've been playing this game called Valheim. Valheim. I don't know what it's called, but I've been playing it for like fucking 14 hours a day. It's been excellent. That's what I'm going to be doing as soon as this podcast is over. I built a giant roof. It took 12 hours. It's everything I've ever wanted.
I actually watched you play that a little bit. I guess it was after last podcast. Really looking forward to talking about that a little later. That's looks very interesting.
You would love this game, dude. It's definitely worth the $20. This is like all the shit that you like doing in Last Oasis without any of the bullshit, and it's like cooperative. You would really enjoy it, I think.
Yeah, I'm going to give it I'm going to have to get a good go.
But yeah, we'll get into it more later.
Sure.
So yeah, I've just been playing a bunch of that. Done a little bit of enhancing in BDO. I'm failing everything. Trying to get a Pen Kunum and another Tet Blackstar to sell. I've made 200 stacks approximately. So we'll see how high those go. Yeah. I feel like I did something else, but I don't remember.
Those 200 fail stacks will be good for the future for sure.
Yeah, the stacks are nice. I mean, that's kind of why I started enhancing the extra black stars to begin with.
Yep,
but
makes sense.
It would also be nice to get some money.
Money's good.
So why are you trying to get fail stacks for, and why are you trying to get gear wise next? Other than the pin Kudum, I guess.
My next big expenditure is going to be a T10. I'm going to get another T9, so that's like 12 bill. And then after that, now that I'm awakening, I need to pump some Caphras into my dandy. So that's probably my next big expenditure. And then I'm kind of torn if I want to start going for pin accessories or if I want to finish getting C9. I'm full C6 right now with a Tri-Dead God. So I'm kind of equally torn between both of those things. My damage definitely feels low in Awakening since I don't have the pin Black Star like I did in Succession.
Man, I don't know. I gotta say, both the Caphras grind for me has been a big drain because you're always out of money because you just buy Caphras, and the gains don't really have a visual representation, so you don't feel like you're making any gains. Like, I mean, you have like your DP goes up by 1, right? But I think the pin crescents and like pin accessories, at least you get to at least see like a number go up on your gear. There's like a visual representation for your, multi-week grind.
I really felt my Caphras levels when I started pumping them. Like, I don't know, a year ago or whatever, when I first started getting pin armors, I really felt the first few Caphras levels. I felt like I became extremely tankier, but that was also back when 269 was kind of still considered like benchmark for high end, and now I feel like everyone's just so far beyond that. I don't know how many Caphras levels you need to actually feel tankier when someone hits you at this point.
Yeah, I got a stupid DR build, so I don't know if I'll ever feel tanky. But
it's supposed to do that on a Sork though, right?
DR, it depends on the meta right now. The meta on NA is like half and half, so I don't really know. I'm mainly doing this for the accuracy on the bags. That's really the only reason I'm doing it.
I too am doing an accuracy grind, Caphras grind. I have duo Dead God, but I got my boots to C9 this morning, and then my gloves are C8, and I'm about halfway done with that Caphras grind to get those to C9. And then my Kudum's already C3, so I'm gonna grab that to C7. And then it'll probably be Dead God time, or slap some TED accessories into my 211 stack, something like that. But for right now, I'm finishing out my my little DP setup here. So the whole temporary 1 AP 1 DP thing is so fucking weird to me, but
it is very bizarre. They should just make it permanent after the transfer.
Apparently, we're getting another book for DP, but whatever. I don't know. I kind of disagree with you, Potion. I like I grind for like a couple days, and then I get a piece of, I get sheet DP for it. And then, if you keep that up, those numbers really start adding up quickly if you stay on the Caphras grind. So I find it pretty satisfying, quite frankly. And then if you know anybody in the Xbox world, not having Caphras is a weird version of BDO to play. So
yeah, it's very, very strange. Oh, yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, I really liked what they did with Caphras, giving people like a method of progress that's not purely RNG based. It feels more like Paragon levels or something, where you just put in the work and you get the gains. And yeah. I think for a lot of people, that's much more appealing. It's cool that we have the casino option, but I think for a huge chunk of players, just having reliable progress they can look forward to is good. It's more about like what you're going to use the gear for. I think that's why you lack motivation, because it's like you don't feel any meaningful end game content that's going to be different as a result of your gains. If there was like a new grind spot or like a new siege tier or something that you were looking forward to, I think you'd feel a lot more motivated. I think that's the underlying problem.
Yeah, I think that's true. I do it in like little chunks now, that's about all I can stomach. Do like one little item, then take a break, and do another item, take a break.
Well, it's super good to like fill little holes, right? Like I think Kaffers are just like little shims that you can stick into your gear, and if you're just shy 1 DP or 1 AP or something like that, you don't have to get a second pin accessory. You can just shim that thing in there. So.
Yep. So how are people saying their gear score right now? Are they saying their gear score with the free APDP or without the free APDP?
I didn't update my gear thing for it.
Gotta say it with, right? I mean, it's there.
Yeah, it is. For another, what is it, 10 days, I guess?
Well, what I hate is when I'm grinding Star's End and someone asks me what my AP is, because it's like giving you my AP while I'm grinding Star's End now is completely meaningless. You don't know if I'm using Nuva or Kudum. You don't know if I have a Black Star main hand. You don't know if I have a Black Star Awakening weapon, and you don't know what level my Black Star Awakening weapons are, because there's a huge difference between Tri-Tet and Pin Black Star in terms of monster damage. So like the AP that I'm giving you is like 60% of the information that you actually need.
Yeah.
And I also don't want to give you 5 different things every time somebody asks. So I almost feel like we need like an effective AP where people need to start understanding like what their actual total monster AP is or something, and communicating in that, kind of like how people communicate in like 700 evasion, how that's become normalized. I feel like we need to start talking about AP in a different way.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I think part of it's just they need to have a better visualization for that. Like instead of just saying AP DP, maybe have accuracy there, or have monster AP, like the total of everything. That way, it's a little easier for players both to add it up and to tell what's going on. Because I mean, accuracy, I do feel like it's a part of it. And then, like you said, monster damage is such it's game defining at this point. Like if you have 300 and you don't have it with a Black Star and you don't have a Kudum on, that's completely different than Kudum 300 and Black Star.
I need to change the server real quick. I'm getting some weird lag.
Pause for this brief intermission.
All right, I think that did it.
All right, we're good?
We're good?
I think so. Sorry.
All right, yeah.
Yeah, I think we've talked about that before too, right? It comes down to like the game kind of being bloated and how it's like, how they've added things and things have been discovered, and there's not just like a simple sheet to look at, especially for new players. I have no idea how new players get into this game, man. I really don't. Trying to understand what to do, but I think that's a pretty good segue into something that we got out of the patch this week, which was the little protection notifier thing.
Yeah, we got visualizers for it. I have been so surprised on so many things I didn't know had like weird things on them. Like for example, one of them was if you go on train dummies, there's like a brief time of invincibility or something before you activate it. It's like little weird things that are in the programming code that just leak through. I'm like, oh, I didn't know that. So
the training dummy one is particularly important because it indicates that the icon that your character is showing is actually tied to your character's status, rather than them just going through and adding icons that display when you use the skill that may or may not be related to whether the protective status is actually being applied.
Yeah,
you see what I mean?
Yeah. It was added to existing code and activates based on existing code instead of it being retroactive.
Yeah, because like the AP that you have on your character sheet doesn't actually tell you how much AP your character has. Those two things don't communicate. It's a separate thing that's totally in your AP on your sheet versus your character's actual stats. So I'm very glad that they didn't do that when it comes to like the super armor change, and then it's actually asking your character if it has super armor, and if the answer is yes, it shows you the little icon. I like that a lot. I do think it's funny now how explicit it is when you get knocked out of an iframe or a super armor, but maybe this is the first step in them realizing how bad desync really is, and that it's something they should probably think about fixing for regions other than KR where everyone has 3 ping.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the best part of that is, like you said, it's like we can trust that it's accurate now, at least on client side, that it's accurate 100% of the time. And I think that's what I'm like you said, I'm most pleased with.
I think if there was a fix for the net code, we would have seen it in Shadow Arena. Maybe it's something they're digging into or something again, but if there was something that they could do about it in short order. But yeah, okay. So maybe this is part of the process of them looking into it. That's an interesting thought. Did you guys learn anything about your class with these little notifiers on?
Honestly, I've been so balls deep into Valheim, I haven't really gone that in depth looking at it, but I was surprised just at a first glance how long the super armor on some warrior abilities were. Like the super armor on Gravedigger lasts for I think 12 and a half hours. I timed it, and it's like, man, it does not feel that way when I'm actually fighting. But I guess, I guess I'm like usually not lingering in the end of the Gravedigger animation. It's more the beginning that I'm usually getting knocked out of, not the end. But yeah, like all the animation at the end where he's like slowly winding down and like looking at the ground and shrugging his shoulders, like apparently all that's protected, which I found kind of fascinating.
Yeah, one of the things I think is interesting about it is how it works with animation cancels. I kind of figured that it would stay in super armor until the next ability was initiated, but it's like immediately when you press the button, it just cancels it out. And I had a lot of misnomers that I have to like kind of correct by just playing the game and like relearning where they are, because where I thought they were and in what they really were was like slightly off based on how you input the keys. So it's like an additional learning curve that is way easier now with the visualizer. I feel like it's going to make it the barrier to entry for new players way better.
I think it's a really good change. It is interesting how powerful like lingering super armor really is, how this makes it that much more obvious. Skills that do have a lingering super armor versus skills that don't. I feel like there's not a lot of skills that still have it nowadays. They kind of got rid of all that back in the day.
Yeah, it seems like there's like a few that got kind of left over or whatever, but for the most part, like what do you think the solution should be? Do you think lingering super armor or lingering iframes or like that kind of stuff, do you think it should be more clean cut, or do you like it kind of sloppy like that so it's a learning curve?
I feel like it depends on the class, right? Like there's some classes that it can be really overpowered if you're able to have a lingering super armor and then you protect like another overpowered skill with that. But then there's some classes that have such gaps in their super armor that there can be a strategy of chaining your skills together in the right way so that you stay protected. Like it really all comes down to balancing. I don't know if there's one answer that's true or not. It's really class-based and balance-based.
This may come to a big surprise to you guys, but I learned a lot from this visualizer on my class about Guardian.
I'm not surprised.
Really?
No, I'm not surprised.
I didn't learn a damn thing. It's so painfully obvious, dude. Like the animations are so long and obvious, and the only thing that I think I was unsure about was the length of like one of the pre-awakened leaps that you have on Guardian. Like I thought that the super armor ended short, and it ended exactly where I thought it was. So I mean, all the animations are super deliberate and stuff like that, and they chain together really well. So
yeah.
My chat got a little pissed off. They're like, "Oh, right, so Guardian grind's completely protected the entire time," and I'm like, "Well, there's this one time where it's not like super protected. When I'm doing my attack speed buff, it can be hard."
What is that? The right click or the left click? I forget which one it is. It's difficult to remember.
Yeah, it is. I hate it when I have to use two hands to grind, but sometimes I have to use my right hand.
Oh gosh.
It's a good drinking class, right? Because you just like shift F. Shift U.
My favorite class to grind one-handed on is Musa. I just put Rising Storm on my. I use my mouse and I have two mouse buttons on the side, so I can dash, Z buff, and then I set one. I think it's my right mouse button or left mouse button. I think it's my right mouse button. It's set to Rising Storm, and so I just run around dashing on Musa at low end grind spots and just one-shot everything. I tried it at Pilaku, but I needed a little bit more AP.
Rising Storm, huh?
Yeah, I just went around one hand with Rising Storm the entire time.
Dude, I took my Musa to Blood Wolves a few weeks ago to do some potion grind with those J scrolls, and it was just fucking insane how fast you can grind mid-tier spots on a Musa, like even with Oasis gear. Oh man, that class. Once upon a time, dude. Once upon a time.
Well, he can still make 200 mil an hour, but it's at the weird spots. Like he goes to like
Yeah, but who
Achman
cares about
or
200 mil an hour?
well, I mean, I mean, I don't think most people are making a lot more than 200 mil an hour. I don't think
You
many
don't
people
think
are.
so?
No. I mean,
I feel like anyone who's got, 261 Kudum can make more than that on any class except for Musa.
if you're in Sakraya, I mean, if you're in Stars In, I think that's true. But aside from that, I think everyone's making less than 200. Just because it require like I think you're overestimating how much trash people pull in on average. There's a lot of people who don't use loot scrolls. They just go and casually grind. The majority of players can't even
Well,
grind.
if we're not using loot scrolls, then we're not using loot scroll. You're not making 200 mil on a Musa anywhere without a loot scroll. So I mean,
Are you projecting? Are you projecting? Potion.
No, I know what that means now.
Okay. Because if you have the gear to be in Sakraya, you're making 200 mil an hour. You should track it, man. I guarantee you're making 200 mil an hour, even with your 3,000 trash per hour or whatever it is.
I don't know where you got that from, but I don't pull anywhere close to 3,000 trash. All right.
I think 4,000 is pretty close to 3,000, but okay.
No, in reality, I haven't really pushed my trash loot, but I've pulled 5,000 on Nova, and I have never tried on my Sork. So 4,900 on my Sork.
Yeah, you're making 200 mil, man. I mean, just a little bit of trash loot's not going to make a big difference. All those black stones and the elixirs and all that stuff. It's probably really difficult to use the loot scroll, have the gear appropriate for Sakraya, and make under 200 mil an hour. Really difficult. You'd have to almost try.
What's your average for ring rate? Is it 2 or 3 for you? For
three what?
Like, is it 2 hours or 3 hours for a tongue guard ring for you?
Every other hour.
Every other?
Yeah, it's probably a little higher recently with all the J scrolls and the events that we've had. It's probably pretty close to 1 an hour actually, but I mean that's like super juice, 250, 260 mil an hour kind of stuff. But that's not typical. It's just all the events we've been having. I've done like probably 100 hours that I've actually like jotted down, all my loot and had a spreadsheet and all that stuff. And if you're doing real bad, you're making about 210 mil an hour. That's with like a 0.4 rings per hour rate. Blue loot scrolls, stuff like that. So it's Star's End is obviously an RNG grind, but anyway. Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm underestimating it a little bit. I haven't kept up with it quite as much. I find it, I don't know, it's just not fun for me. I'm not a spreadsheet type of dude. That's all we have for the patch notes, though. There's not really anything else in there.
Wasn't there something else? There's a bunch of new events.
Yeah, there is a new event. There's a Praise the Sun event. Let me pull up the Praise the Sun event real quick.
Isn't that a Dark Souls thing?
Yes. Good job, Tim. Welcome to the internet.
So you get Praise the Sun. You can combine them into an Echo of the Sun, and then that's a scroll that you can do over near Velia, I guess. Sonnel Siege Captain scroll, and it gives you hards, memory fragments, ancient spirit dust, or hunter seals, or maybe whatever, maybe a little bit of each.
The drop rate on it's pretty low. I did about 6 hours of Sakraya, and I only have 4 pieces.
Oh, who even cares then if it's that low?
Well, I mean, if you're grinding other places, A, it's probably not for somebody who's making 200 mil an hour. B, it probably drops higher at like Polys or Blood Wolves or places like that where,
Sure.
Event things drop.
There's an extra 50% dummy XP event, which is perfect for playing Valheim right now.
Oh, that's why I've been getting so much ESP, bro. I thought I was getting more than normal, but I was like, well, I have been on AFK train dummies a lot with working on the music. That totally explains it. That's been insane. Yeah, the Pearl Shop update, you can buy half price training books from the Pearl Shop. So I've been buying those every day. Really, really good deal.
I should be doing that. Yeah, I didn't realize that was back out. I love this event. That's great. You get to play Valheim and Star Wars Galaxies and stuff. And I'm not 64 yet, and I'd like to be 64. Are you doing dummy grinding on your sword?
No, I'm doing on my lawn.
That's what I thought.
You're not pushing for 68 or whatever?
Well,
70?
I'm so frustrated with the whole leveling thing in BDO. Like, there's not really even a reason to do it anyway. Past like 60, I guess 5 for Ash Forest.
65 is when you get your last passive, right?
63 is for the passive. 65 is just for grinding and getting hit a little less often at Ash Forest. It's not even worth it, honestly. But if you're some tryhard, then maybe, I don't know. I just did it because it was just something to do, and I was a little bored. But the thing is, I have 2,000, almost 900 skill points on my Sork now. I'm 66, and like now, if you grind, it takes 10,000 hours of grinding to basically level up at Miramok Ruins, and it's like 20,000 hours at Sakraya. It is, and if you do AFK training dummies, it's basically the same exact amount of time. The problem is that you can just keep on doing AFK train dummies 24/7, so it's faster to actually AFK train on dummies than it is actually to grind to 67. And so when I did the math on it and figured that out, I was like, I'm not going to push for it. It's not worth 2 to 3 years of AFK train dummies for a level that doesn't matter. I can just, for that amount of time, I can get another 66. And so that's what I decided to do. I'm just going to go for another 66 and decided to go lawn. I'm actually going to reroll before the end of the season. I'm going to be rerolling from my Sork, put our weapons on the lawn. I'm just going to be done with Sork.
Wow. Retired 66 Sork.
Yeah.
On the bench.
I don't know. They have to figure out something. It's just they've not done anything with the leveling system in such a long time, or skill points in such a long time. It's just I don't want skill points to be like a Paragon level, but there needs to be some value to them.
I don't know. I don't think
it's been a weird thing. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know if everything needs value, past the obvious.
Well, I mean, yes, that's fine. If it doesn't have a value, then I just won't play the class, which I think that's fine alternative. The main thing I want them to do is I want to make it where you can't do AFK train dummies past 66. That way, there's somebody who's gonna have a video in about 2 years from now and be like, look, I'm 67, and then he got it from AFK training 24/7, and that'll be like a chip on his shoulder, and everybody will be like, why aren't you 67 Potion Shop, or whoever else is 66? And then so like, well, I'm not gonna. I didn't want to do AFK train dummies. It's the same argument people had against 66 when I got it, is because they said, well, you did training dummies for the entire thing, which is not. I didn't do it for the entire thing, but I did it for the majority, right? So I don't know. It's a fair argument, but I just don't think it's very healthy for the game.
Yeah, it's definitely something that needs to be reworked. I think XP and skill XP in general in this game are very it's like they didn't even try to have them make sense. Maybe when we get Snow Region or Margoria 2 or whatever the hell, then they'll add some mobs that give more XP than trees do for people who are super high level. I don't know, but yeah, I feel like it's one of those things that kind of crept up on them and they just never really thought about it, and the values don't make sense at those levels. Maybe they didn't think people were going to grind that hard, but they've had fair warning, like they saw the first person hit 64, they saw the first person hit 65. They should have kind of seen this coming a year or two ago and done something about it, and they just haven't.
Yeah, I've had a long time to think about it, and I really feel like they've dropped the ball on. I mean, it's not like like you said, it took me a year and a half to go to 64 to 66, and then before that it was 62, a year before that. So they've had 2 years of relatively a good amount of time, and I wasn't in the first 66. Obviously, I was first 66 Sork, but Bria has been in 66 for over a year already. Like that, and that's crazy to think about.
Yes, they have.
Yeah, that is insane.
Yeah, they have been 66 for a year.
You guys don't think Bria is legit, really?
I think the thing is that I think the majority was Bria the girl, and then I think they got caught one time, and I think she's been putting most of the effort. And I think they just got caught in a bad situation. It's one of those type of situations where...
Wait, I must have missed the Bria drama. Bria actually got busted?
Well, yeah. So the TLDR of this... and
is this slander, or do we have proof?
They streamed it. So basically, Bria the dude streamed on Bria the girl's account grinding, and then about, I don't know, 6 months to a year later or something like that, then Bria the girl showed up, and the boyfriend was in chat the entire time saying, "No, I never played on the account. I never played on the account." I don't know all the details about it, but it was a pretty big deal, and I honestly don't care. I mean, the terms of service are you can't share your login credentials with someone else. It doesn't say anything about someone else not playing on your account if they live in a household, and there's no way of proving it one way or the other either. So I don't really think it matters what anybody really cares, as long as they are happy with the progression. And I think that's all that really matters. I don't really care personally.
Well, the first level 65 in Korea was husband and wife or a boyfriend and girlfriend.
Yep.
They were very, very open about it. And Prolibus literally interviewed them and was like, "What's it like being a couple playing the game and hitting 65 together?" Like, they literally don't care at all.
Yeah.
So there's even something in the new, have you guys seen the new terms of service that Prolibus put out, like clarifying multi-accounting and stuff? It actually raises more questions than it clarifies in some cases. There's some really vague stuff about multi-accounting in there where it kind of sounds like it's totally fine to give your account to your friends and let them play it. So I don't know. We're gonna need like clarifications on the clarifications.
I've got this friend in the Philippines who would love to play on my account.
Yeah, exactly. Like, but I mean, it seems like as long as you don't pay someone to play your account, apparently account sharing is like totally fine. That's kind of what I got out of it. But it's
the way.
I don't know.
The way they've been, I don't know if this is according to the terms of service or not, but the way the Koreans have been playing for a very, very long time is they'll basically say, "Hey, I have all this stuff. I don't want to enhance, but you don't mind enhancing, do you? Here, log into my account and enhance my stuff for me. And then, let me know what to get." And they'll just do it for free for their friends and stuff like that. And you'll see a lot of Korean streamers are playing them like every day. They're doing enhancing. It's because they have somebody in their chat who's giving them their account and be like, "Hey, play on it for the day."
I was thinking about starting to do that, like have a channel point redeem or something where I would go on someone's account and enhance for them, or whatever. Like,
yeah,
I'll do it.
What's that?
Will you enhance my account?
Possibly. I got to figure out what the redemption is going to cost.
You can try it out. You can try it out on my account, and if I get permanently banned, it's your fault.
Yeah, I guess you would get in trouble, not me, right? Would we both get in trouble?
I don't know.
I feel like force that.
I feel like anytime I do something, I get in a lot of trouble. So maybe we don't do that.
One thing I didn't like about the new terms of service or terms of use or whatever they're calling them is the fact that if you pay somebody to play on your account, you get a temporary suspension, and then it's not like a permanent bannable offense. They said that that was a huge other thing.
Pretty lenient punishment for something that's been an egregious problem for years.
Yeah,
they need to rethink that. I don't think they realize how big of a problem it is out here compared to KR.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think it's just something that Kakao updated theirs because of the huge event they had, right? There was a huge problem that came up, and I think that just didn't translate to Pearl Abyss because they just didn't talk to each other or whatever the case is. I don't know.
How often do you think you run into a piloter at a grand spot?
Right now, from Kakao, ever since they started banning people for it, it's pretty rare. It's pretty rare. Like before,
it's a lot more rare in the last couple months for sure.
It used to be if you went to Arsha on any grind spot, there'd be a piloter in one of them, and we're talking about the main ones, obviously. Like I went to Sulphur Mine, and I found like I had piloters gang up on me at Sulphur Mines and kicked me off of Arsha. They just killed me like 50 times, and they're like, "Get out of here!" And there were 2 piloters. How
did you know there were pilots?
Wait, you died to pilots?
So the way pilots play the game is they basically prioritize trash loot. So even if you kill them, they'll keep on farming. And then eventually, if you bother them,
a lot of people who play the game that way, dude. I don't know if that you can't say someone's a pilot just because they play like with their head down.
But I would have to go back and like have a VOD for you to watch. Obviously as proof. So this is just anecdotal evidence, right? And you can take that for what you will. But yeah, I basically
someone's a pilot or not is if they call you sir.
Somebody just said that in my chat. Yeah,
dead giveaway.
Sir.
So I was somebody in my chat has told me, like, because I don't stop to duel for spot, I just keep grinding, and so now I have a macro. What's it say? Hold on, it's sorry sir, big order to fill please, and I just spam that. I don't spam it, I just hit it once. Bro, not one person has come up to me. They just all have walked away. All of them have walked away. They're like, oh well, I'm not gonna fucking deal with this. So I figured my name has been tarnished enough in this game to where I could just be like, whatever, I don't care. And then the really funny thing would be is if I get, so now I'm getting reported for piloting, right? And I'm wasting Cacao's game's time, which I have really no love for. And they're doing investigations when there's video proof of me not
they're actually
piloting.
investigating that?
No, I don't. But I'd like to think that.
Anyway, that's the way I determine is I basically look at their player habits, because most time when you kill somebody, they'll try fighting you, right? They'll try fighting you, they'll try like fighting you back. And this guy just like straight to it.
It is very common for people in this game to just passive aggressively grind next to you and force you to waste your karma and not even acknowledge your existence and just hope you leave. Because most people will leave. Most people.
I know what you're talking about.
I'm out of karma. I'm just going to swap channels.
I know what you're talking about.
Especially if you don't talk. Like if someone starts talking shit, then it becomes a whole thing. But there's a lot of people who are just going to grind and be silent and just be like, hope that you go away, and it works for them. Otherwise, it wouldn't be so many people doing it.
Yeah. All right, I understand that. I know what you're talking about. I've seen that. I've obviously played BDO a lot, so I know what you're talking about. I'm saying this is different. I don't know how to explain it to you other than that. But yeah, and Polyforce is the same thing. Back before they tracked down on piloters, I saw it at Polyforce because I went there on a lot of my new characters with like 270 AP, and then wondered why there was 300 AP Zerkers there, and same thing was at Sulfur Mine. Those are the two times when I spent a lot of time on Arsha. But like I said, I have not seen really anything like that was similar to that effect since they had the big piloter crackdown that they posted on the forums about. I haven't seen any of that.
Well, good thing we're peeling back those laws.
The
going back to suspensions.
Yeah, going back to making it lenient again.
Yeah, I think that's going to be. I think that. Well, I guess. Well, there'll be a good indicator to see. A good indicator to weigh how Pro Abyss does compared to Cacao Games, because Cacao Games has been pretty well listening for the banning type of thing and how to do that. They've really stepped up their game on that side a lot. And as far as feedback goes on like banning and like, you know, making the game more advertised and stuff like that, they've been doing pretty good. So I'm curious to see how Pro Abyss will do on the same front, and I think that'll be a good way for us to kind of weigh between each other, you know, how good Pro Abyss is doing.
Chester says most pilots are really nice. They let them leech EXP on tree groups.
They probably are nice. That's the sad thing, is that like this game is actually so much more important to them than it is to us, because it's like literally their, you know, their livelihood. They're just like trying to feed their families. It's kind of weird.
This game's pretty important to a lot of people.
Yeah. The thing that I see now is like way more often since they started banning pilots is people channel swapping before I can even like get close enough to them to ask for a duel. Have you guys seen this? This like the last 3 months, this has increased exponentially, where I'll just walk up to main rotation on Star's End and the person grinding there just swaps channel before I can even see their name or anything.
That's sus.
I would just assume that's a bot if that was doing that, because that's what the bots used to do. The bots used to spam Zerker abilities, right? And as soon as you get close, poof, they're gone. Yeah. So I would assume that's
they look like speed hackers, though. Like they're not clearing fast enough to be hackers, but they might be bots of some kind. I'm not sure.
I saw
some flares, man.
I saw someone testing a bot out at Desert Nagas. And it was just one-shotting all the mobs. It would just one-shot them, teleport, and it's like it was packet injecting for the teleport. Playing a DK and just one-shot the pack, teleport, one-shot the pack, teleport. And I think people were just trying to test out new bots to see what they can get away with. I think there's a new one out right now. Because it's just the arms race. As soon as you start banning for one thing and you catch them, then the very next time they just, you know, they rewrite their code, try to figure out how to get around it. You know, because for them it's a money source.
You
right?
sound like a surly old detective who's getting tired of catching drug lords and then just for more to pop up.
Yeah, I mean,
They're just going to come back.
one thing I was really curious about is Pearlbus said that they have their own protection. They have their own. They developed their own internal Pearlbus protection program, which is supposed to detect bots and hackers and stuff like that.
Yeah, what the fuck does that mean? Have they been holding out on us?
Well, apparently they put it into the game and they didn't tell anybody, which, to be fair, is probably the best choice because as soon as people know that there's something new in the game, then the hackers start trying to work around it, right? So it's probably good that they didn't tell anybody, but maybe that's why we've seen less of this stuff recently, is maybe that's because Pearlbus' new software is detecting it.
Maybe.
No, I mean, I haven't been banned, so. So far, so good. What else do we have? We have the new wizard costume, huh?
The new wizard costume
you can't
looks.
hide the helmet.
Oh, you can't hide it at all?
You can't hide it. If you buy that costume, you look like that helmet.
Honestly, looks pretty sick.
Apparently, there's you can only dye certain parts of it too.
Yeah, they shouldn't do that. I feel like dyeing things. The only thing you shouldn't be able to dye is like the little black eyes or whatever it has, you know? Aside from
What
that,
do you think that is when they don't let you hide stuff or they don't let you dye stuff? Is it like the artists taking things personally? Like who's making the decision to where you can't customize pieces of your character? Like no, you can't make it look. You have to look. It has to look like we want it to look.
I would take a look at the wizard costume and just paint it all white and just see what that would look like.
You really think that's it? You think that's what they're thinking about?
Yeah, wizard costumes comes really close to KKK costumes.
Bro, have you seen? Okay, the new wizard costume that came out is not nearly as KKK as the Crescent Moon costume. Like the Crescent Moon is easily 20 times more racist than the new like crow mask or whatever the new one is. The new one just looks like you're like a cultist. It doesn't look like you're racist.
I don't think they should be taking things like that into consideration anyway, because all that does is propagate that it's actually a problem, and I don't think it actually is. Like,
the KKK is a problem, dude.
I don't think that they have any awareness of that at all in Korea. I don't think they're thinking about
probably,
it in the
probably
slightest.
not, actually.
They have an event every Halloween where you get chased by a guy called Spook. You really think that they are like racially sensitive about this stuff?
No, probably not.
I can't believe that not only did they do that, but they keep bringing it back too. It's like
I think the adding the special options like dye, helmet, stuff like that, it comes down to them having to program more into the game. I think that's what it comes down to. And sometimes they try rushing out these costumes without being fully supported yet. I think they see what they can get away with because it's easier for them if they don't have to set the helmet setting, the cape setting, the dye setting, you know. That just saves them time.
It must be so stressful to be on the costume task force these days.
What was the racist costume you said?
Crescent Moon, I think it's called, for wizard.
For wizard? They got rid of it.
Did they? Oh, I have one of my. Would you want
no, there it is. Yeah, exactly. That looks just like a fucking.
This looks real bad.
He looks like a leader of it, man.
He's a grand wizard.
Buy that and paint. It's already like half painted white too. Oh man.
Yeah, it's they weren't. I'm telling you, no awareness.
So why are you keeping one of these?
I liked the way it looked on my wizard.
Ooh.
I didn't try to dye it in a racist way. I have it's like red and black and stuff, but people kept saying that I looked racist anyways.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that's definitely a Grandmaster outfit right there, that's for sure.
I think Moreland only uses his wizard on Cal too.
No, I don't wear that costume anymore. I got too many "you look like KKK" comments. I wear the Lord Red outfit now.
Anyway, I mean that's the whole job of a publisher. One of the big jobs is localizing. That's why like Sork's boobs are bigger on KR than they are in America, and we can show more thigh than they can or whatever.
Wait, is that true?
What?
I don't think that's true. Is that actually true?
No, it's not actually true, but like the characters, like
they make the faces look wider for sure compared to KR.
Right. So whatever the little localization thing that they do, I think that's like supposed to be the publishing team's job. But anyway, you know, I don't know if Kakao Games really knows or cares about the. This is
that's not. Kakao's not the one making the faces look like.
Yeah, no, that's definitely Pearl
no
Abyss.
Chance. Yeah, it's definitely Pearl Abyss.
Yeah, Kakao, like they might change the appearance of like the outfits in the news column or the Pearl tab, or whatever, you know.
I've only got 2 more weeks to shit on Kakao Games. Can I just have it? Can I just have it? Is that all right?
No, because this is what's going to happen.
Kind of
what we're going to have is we're going to have 2 weeks of you shitting on Kakao Games, and then we're going to have Pearl Abyss take over, and you're going to be like, I knew it! It was going to be so much better! And you're going to say that for like 2 or 3 weeks also. So it'd be like,
I'm going to be saying I told you so for a couple years.
What if it is better, though? What if they come in and they just fix the game all of a sudden?
I'm going to say I told you so.
When's the last day we can spend our pearls? Isn't it like this 14th?
No, you can spend your pearls as much as you want. Your pearls aren't going away.
The Kakao cash.
The pearl shop gets locked down at a certain date.
No, you already can't buy pearls. You can spend them as much as you want. There's no limit on spending.
Let me find it.
All right, you do that. In the meantime, they added a lingering crit description to the pre-awaken warrior spinning slash. So lingering crit is officially not only supported, but actually articulated in your tooltip. I thought that was pretty interesting. They're acting like they did it on purpose after all these years, I guess.
What the fuck is lingering crit?
So you could do a spinning slash cancel on Pre-Awakened Warrior, and it would give you 100% crit rate for like an extra window of time, which is apparently 1 second, according to this patch note. So like for Succession Warrior, you could do things like have 100% crit rate on Heavy Strike or Ground Slash or even your grab for PvP, and it would make you super bursty for that second. And it was like a way that people were pushing Suck Warrior to be you know, like, I don't know, like 20% stronger than it should be. And there were some cool PvP combos you could do with it too. But now it's officially like in the game as a feature that you could see and think about instead of like a hidden secret / bug. So I thought that was pretty interesting that they just made it like part of the game now.
So it's actually just the pearl boxes. So that was what I was thinking of. This is the in-game. Yeah.
That's cool. That does sound like a bug, but
well,
okay.
So that's just a 100% crit. Is like it's sort of like a like our abilities give you like 25%, you know, cast speed or whatever. So it's sort of like that, but it's with crit for but only 1 second.
Yeah, so you have to animation cancel the spinning slash so that you then have that 1 second window to throw in other skills and get the burst out of that, and then you cancel the spinning slash again and you repeat. That's
kind of interesting. That'd be a new way they could add like a cool effect for new classes. Make it where the class doesn't really have. Make it where the class has that on like one ability you rotate instead of having like 50%, 100% crit rate on everything.
I think they should have a class where every hit that you get adds a little bit of crit rate to it. So then all your skills basically have 100% crit rate. So you don't really have to worry about that shit. But there's still like a penalty of starting out without hitting stuff.
Isn't that Guardian?
Yeah, it's literally Guardian.
Oh, it is. Boy, that's nice.
I should probably move that up on my tier list now that I think about it.
I'm gonna fucking leave.
Bro, the amount of people asking me to make a tier list now in like every stream is way too high.
I tell you what, it's I hope you don't make one because they're going to whatever you decide that's different than mine is going to absolutely take a shit on me. They're going to all come to me and be like,
yeah, that's why I didn't make one 5 years ago when people first wanted a tier list, because I made a little bit of a tier list and everyone in chat had a fucking meltdown about every aspect of it.
Yep. I think I'm going to do a grind spot one next. We'll see how controversial that is. I'm not sure how I want to do it though. How would you guys make a tier list for grind spots based on AP, I guess, or based on income?
So I just open up like a notepad, have a 6-pack of beer, and just write a bunch of shit down, man. And I think that'd be right along with your tier list, your last tier list. So I wouldn't get too involved in like details or facts or anything. I think I'd just do a drunk stream and make a tier list and just roll it down center, dude.
Tier list is pretty solid, actually.
It probably is, but he still ranks Guardian too high.
Yeah, literally everyone always thinks their class is rated too high on every tier list. That's the problem. That's where all the molding comes from.
What? I can't believe you put my class over that other class. My class is clearly inferior. My class needs a buff.
The thing that blows me away is I try to make this super obvious, but my tier list to have this thing called A+ tier, right? There's S and then there's A+, and everybody sees S and they're like, I can't believe those classes are so weak. I'm like, it's A+, bro. It's like right below S, right below, just a sneeze. And they're like,
no, what you need to have is the triple S, double S, and regular S, and then possibly an S+.
I actually did move Striker into S+. It made more sense.
Yeah, so you need S, S+, SS, SS+, and then SSS, and then SSS+.
Careful,
And
you
then-
might be dangerously close to a real tier list there, Potion.
And then put Musa in D tier.
Yeah, Musa
It's
right
fun.
now is... What? I think I put a class that's weaker than Musa. Let me see.
Oh, well, then your tier list is trash.
Oh, yeah, Maywa Awakening.
Yikes, dude.
I don't know if that's actually real or not. Basically, everything is in like B. It's in like B+ to C range. Everything that's in there. Nobody plays those classes because
Summary. Yeah, summary of tier lists in BDO. I don't know if that's real or not.
Why are you angry when other people are upset by it? When you make a statement like, I don't even know if that's fucking real.
well, you have to let me clarify. Everything that's in B+ to C range. Nobody plays them, and my entire tier list is based off what my community plays. And so my community doesn't play any of those classes. So it's like, how do I make a judgment on it? You know,
That's true.
I asked my chat, I'm like, hey, what do you think about that class? And they're like, I have no idea, bro. Nobody,
People keep
nobody.
asking me, like, how is Suck Tamer? And I'm like, bro, I've never met a Suck Tamer in my life. I have no information to give you. I wish I did.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no way that Kerr hasn't tried grinding on Suck.
Well, that's why I based my rating of Tamer 4 was just based on Kerr. That's the only source I have. So I don't know.
So is your rating of Tamer, bro? Tamer's pog.
But yeah, I mean, the whole thing is based off the
That's what you
community.
did there.
So that's why I try to be pretty lenient with it. And like basically I summarize everything into strong classes, balanced classes, and weak classes. And then past there, they have letters on them, right? But the letters,
See, there you're in your what's the word? Editorializing.
yeah, like the letter ranking is just it's almost like an educated guess more than anything because you have to play each of these classes and record hundreds of hours of data on different grind spots to know where they really sat.
Here's what you need to do. Okay, you need to get a separate tier list for something completely unrelated, like I don't know, your favorite animes or something, and then name each tier after each of your favorite animes. So that you can not only get people upset over which tier their class is in, you can also get them upset over the order of the animes that you're ranking.
But I think what Potion Shop really doesn't understand, not to speak about you in the third person when you're right here, but is calling anybody's class balanced, putting like a description of this class is balanced was probably a pretty big mistake. Nothing feels balanced in this game, dude. You got to pick a different word. And if you call grind spots balanced, I'm gonna lose my shit.
So what word would you recommend Potion Shop using?
Average.
Oh, okay.
Above average, below average.
So Guardian is very above average.
I'm gonna pants you and spank you the next time I see you.
I'm just getting a feeling about how it would feel. All right, I'm just taking your advice here and wanted to see what your reaction was, and your reaction was about the same. So I don't know if it's a big deal.
It's better than overpowered.
How about strong?
Strong's good. I like strong.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, Guardian is strong. I like that because that's a little more that I don't know. The overpowered thing's fucking stupid. The class is just a cozy grind. It's not overpowered. It's the wrong word.
Yeah, Guardian is like Five Guys tier. You know, it's not Wendy's, but it's also not In and Out.
True, actually.
Okay, so Moreland's gonna make a class tier, and the tiers are gonna be fast food that he's eaten once 15 years ago. This man can't eat 2 slices of pizza without having a food coma, and he's gonna like rank classes by pizza places or something.
Yeah.
S tier will be avocado though.
Of course. Anyone who thinks avocado is not S tier is literally a fucking Wendy's eater.
Da, 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 da.
I actually just realized this week, this is Pearl Shop related. I realized this week that you can buy for 80 pearls every week. You can buy for 80 pearls and get 2 loose scrolls
On Wednesday, I think, right?
Uh,
Or just every week.
oh, is it different? Is it the daily deal? Is that what that is?
Yeah, it's been going on for months.
I know they rotate every day, but I didn't realize there was one that had loose scrolls that was worth it. So I'm going to see if I can start buying that every week. Because 2 loose scrolls for 80 pearls is a really good deal. It's a really, really good deal.
Yeah, it's only like 500 yen.
I'm about to make a Pankudum click.
Good luck.
Pencast.
All right. Well, that's it
Not
for
like right now, but in like 2 minutes.
that's it for this week on that stuff. Global Lab update. We had a new adventure journal that gives us +1 DP. There's 3 volumes to it. Haven't looked about all the requirements and other stuff we got on it, but that'll be something to look forward to. We'll probably get that in like a week or 2.
Yay, a DP I don't have to do Caffers for.
True. I'm actually really curious about. Apparently, you have to go to different grind spots and kill monsters. So it's just like, can I just go through and re-explore the world again? I guess the idea behind it is to teach new players about different grind spots and what they like and what they don't like. So that's pretty good. They also added daily quest to Hadum or Elvia or whatever they're calling it. So there's daily quests there that can give you, I guess, different materials to help you. I forget. I think it's the materials you need for gaining new necklaces.
I'm really happy that they're adding daily quests to the new content. I was worried that there wasn't going to be more daily quests in this game.
Yeah. I was actually kind of hoping they wouldn't do it, but c'est la vie. And did some more quality of life for Elvia and Hadum. Some basic stuff. And the other cool thing is they made a visual update. The Google Translate on this was terrible.
Oh my fucking god. Are you kidding me? Again.
Yeah, it was really bad.
Foundry. BD Foundry.
So anyway, the Google Translate wasn't perfect on it, but they basically have, as you upgrade your abilities, the visual effects on them change. So if you have like if you have an ability that's brand new and you don't have it like level 1 on it, then it has a different appearance than level 3.
When you're going to do the podcast, you won't even get it appropriately fucking translated patched.
I remember the last 4 times 10 had this rant.
So I think this is good for BDO because it gives some visual progression for the game. It's for your abilities, so by the time you're level 60, who really cares? But for new players, it's kind of nice, and maybe for veteran players, you can know if you're using like the prime ability or you're using the regular absolute ability. So that'd be kind of nice if there's a visual difference there.
Do you think there's actually any skill progression in this game? Like, you get to 60 so fucking fast, even as a new player. Like, I don't know. Do you think anyone's gonna feel this?
I think they are concerned with new players. I think this will probably be something in the neighborhood of like 10% of players will care. I don't know. It's not a big deal. But it is something that I do think some new players will notice and care about. It's like an extra layer of polish. Do they need it? No. My main concern, honestly, is performance. I lose half my FPS when I do a violation of my Sork now because they didn't optimize the ability when they reworked it. They reworked the visual appearance to it when they came out with Succession, and I lose half my FPS now. So I'm really concerned more about optimization of these new abilities. You know, if they're just going to pump them out for all classes, I think that can be problematic.
I'm so fucking angry at you.
The more you ban, the longer he's gonna do it.
I just go. That's why I have my bookmark for. That's why I go there for every time. I don't know.
You must have been a terrible child.
Plus, BDO Foundry is always late. I always check it when it first comes out.
Not late.
BDO Foundry.
Because they actually translate it.
Well, Google Translate does it instantly, so I can look at it the very second it comes out, which is nice.
It is nice.
So, Velheim. We're done with BDO unless there's something else you guys want to talk about.
Here we go.
How?
I failed.
Yeah, I had a couple more things I wanted to talk about in BDO.
Sure, fire away.
I'm kidding. I'm just trying to trigger Marlon. We can talk about Van Halen.
Let me make sure I don't one tap this bat-to-tat.
Oof. Excuse me. I don't know what that was.
Valheim is the sickest fucking new game that I've played for $20 in a very, very long time. It's like Terraria, but 3D and like with kind of Dark Soulsy combat, but a little bit, less complex. And the amount of like discovery and shit you can do in the game, you can have 10 people on a server right now. I hope they'll expand that in the future. But the amount of shit you can do in that game, like either solo or with your friends in terms of progression and exploration is crazy. We have people who are like 60 hours in and they're still discovering stuff and like unlocking new tech. And yeah, it's fucking so addicting, dude. Like I'm not going to sleep for a week playing this game.
Oh shit! It's like Last Oasis, huh?
Yeah, it's like Last Oasis, except it's with your boys. It's a server of 10 people. You don't have to deal with any bullshit. You guys can turn on PvP if you want, or you can just go and cooperate together. The map is fucking huge, so if you do PvP, you guys can like start off going in different directions and like find a base and try to hide from each other. There's a bunch of shit you could do if you wanted to PvP. There's a ton of shit you can do if you want to cooperate. Like it's an insanely good start for an early access game, and it's got a ton of potential. Like in terms of the roadmap and more stuff they're going to add.
Is there like Minecraft recipes and stuff, or like is it intuitive?
No, the crafting's super intuitive. You unlock recipes when you discover new materials. So like when you discover flint for the first time, it shows you the recipe for like a flint axe, and you do it all at your crafting bench. There's upgrades you get from your crafting bench that add new recipes, and then that gives you more tech and then more upgrades, and it's like Terraria where it just keeps going and going.
How long is the campaign roughly?
We have no idea. It's so long that none of us have finished it yet. Like I said, we've got people who are 60 hours in and they're still finding new shit.
Okay.
I think I was watching you play that, and for people who are listening, it's like, could you explain maybe like what type of game, what kind of genre it falls into?
Yeah, I would say like 3D Terraria is the best way I can describe it. So it's like an open world, survival-ish, kind of progressive. The world gets bigger and bigger as you unlock new stuff. There's bosses to fight. There's dungeons to explore. Everything's procedurally generated. So every map that you play is different. You can hop around to different maps, or you can play all on one map with your friends. There's public games, private games.
Public games have got to be super toxic.
Yeah, I mean, you can get a little thing to like protect your buildings so that other people, if you turn PvP off and then you put a ward around your base, I don't think other players can grief you. They might still be able to hit your structures, but they definitely can't hit you as a player. So I'm not actually sure how that works in terms of turning PvP off and having other people burn your building down. They might still be able to do it.
So if I like jumped into your server after podcast, would I be able to like have fun, or is like the server too progressed?
We're not that progressed. I spent like 15 hours building my house, so I'm barely progressed at all. I've only done about like probably 4 hours of progression.
Okay.
So yeah, we have like new people who are coming in and out. So you wouldn't be the only one who's on like their first or second day.
Okay.
One of the things
There are the starter areas are very farmed out though. So like some of the materials you need in the beginning, you might have to run around a while to find them because it's pretty like the starter dungeons are all totally cleaned out. So that might be annoying. You might have to play a single player server to get some of the starter dungeons.
bro, I just go in there and I just chop down all the trees.
Ishka's saying he set up a second fresh server that some of the newer players are using. So you could go there and take advantage of that and then carry your stuff over to the main server if you want.
So nothing like respawns or anything. Like once you get it, it's done.
A lot of stuff respawns, but certain things don't. There's an item that you need from the beginner dungeon that doesn't respawn, and so there's probably like I don't know a dozen of those dungeons around the starter area, and they're all beaten. So the item that you need isn't going to be there. It's like part of your second tech tree. I don't want to spoil too much, but yeah, there's a couple starter items that most of the stuff respawns. Monsters respawn. You can plant more trees. A lot of the like flint and stuff like that will respawn, but some materials won't respawn.
Gotcha. Okay. It sounds interesting.
What's their goal for the game long term? Like, have they said?
I haven't read the roadmap myself because I'm avoiding spoilers. But from what I gather, there's a shitload of additional stuff planned for the game.
That's cool. All for $20, huh?
All for best $20 I've spent in a long time, dude. Especially if they ever make it so you could have like 20 or 30 people on the same server, even. And I think they can because it runs really well at 10. There's going to be like some really crazy potential for this game. A bunch of different directions they could take it, both in terms of like PvE and PvP.
But that'd be actually really cool. I can already see it forming like, hey, 15-man team versus 15-man team, and who can take over.
It could be like a fantasy Rust if they do it right, and also like a Terraria thing at the same time. Like there's a bunch of things they could do with this game. They've got a really good foundation.
Can you describe the PvP a little bit?
I've only have the potato weapons. I just unlocked like the second or third tier of weapon, which is seems much more advanced. So I don't know how crazy the weapons get. I think there's a lot more stuff that I haven't yet discovered, but it's basically like slash and roll, kind of like Dark Souls. You can block, parry, roll, swing your weapon. There's stamina consumption that you have to manage. There's like foods that you have to make so that you get more health and more stamina. If you build like a nice house and you rest there, then you get a rested bonus that regenerates your stamina faster. So there's an incentive to like set up forwarding bases and stuff so that you can keep your rested bonus when you're out in the woods or whatever. The combat is it's like you slash somebody in front of you and they either block it or dodge it or you miss and then you come back in and there's bows,
no directional or like chambering or anything like that.
No, nothing like that. You can do like a timed block and parry someone and it'll stagger them, but it's kind of janky. It doesn't stagger them for very long. That part still needs some work.
Yeah. Okay.
I see a boat here in the trailer. Have you guys made a boat yet?
Yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing today. Is making. We have some people who've already made the big ones. I'm going to be making the first like big boat today above the raft, and then we're going to go out and look for more resources because we kind of tapped out the island that we're on.
It sounds like fun.
It's so fun, dude. I had fun just building the base that we live in and like figuring out how the structure stability works and all that shit.
I think I could spare $20 to play with you guys. I don't have like a ton of extra time for like another game because I'm already splitting between BDO and SWG. I found out though that I'm not going to be able to unlock my Jedi in SWG until mid-May.
Wow.
That's how much time gated content is in the way. I have to do like one quest every 3 weeks, 6 times. And so you just have to wait for the 3 weeks to be up before you can do the next one. So I'm working on like other characters. You can have up to 10 characters and 2 on at a time. So it's really relaxing. Like the housing system is so cool. You can put like this big house with all these rooms, and you can put a crafting station like on the atrium or something. And so it like overlooks, it's from 2004, but you could still, the draw distance is really cool, and all the environments are really neat, and it's really nostalgic for me too. So you can be like working on your crafting while you're looking out the window or something of Tatooine, and you can see all the players and all the houses go by and stuff. It's pretty immersive. So I've been having fun just clicking away at some crafting and stuff in Star Wars Galaxies. I played Heroes of the Storm with my friends last night.
It's a good game, isn't it?
It fucking is, dude. I picked up.
I've been saying this shit for years.
They stopped. They're not going to do any more updates for it. Like they're killing the game basically. And so
Again? I thought they already did that a bunch of times.
Yeah, they're still releasing champions for it, but it's more of like promotional champions for new updates to other games. Not really
so,
more bouncing or maps or stuff, though, from what I heard.
That has been the most underrated MOBA for so many fucking years.
Yep.
The team, it runs like shit on my computer. I couldn't figure that out. But the team fights are so much fun. You can lose the entire game and then just be coordinated in a 5-stack and smash somebody and win the game on one
comeback. Yeah. The games are fast. They're like the perfect length. The objectives are interesting. You don't have to fucking micromanage creeps. It's all PvP. It's all objectives. There's no like boring lane phase. It's a better game in so many ways.
Yep, I put a lot of time into it. I played it when it came out. I played it when it came out. Played what's the Demon Hunter lady? Played her a lot, and I played
Vala. You would play Vala. And
then there's one where you have like these little wraiths that you send out, and you're like a base destroyer or something like that.
Sylvanas.
Yep, I played. That was the one I played the most. That's the one I played recently with Sylvanas. And then the third person was Illidan, I believe.
Oh, he's so fun. Dude, there's so many good characters in that game.
I think it's really well monetized too. Like you get a lot of bonuses and stuff just for playing the game.
Mm-hmm.
I think the only real pay to win thing is you get like the EXP thing, so you can get the free bonuses faster, which seems counterintuitive. But I was shocked. Like we played some Warzone first, but we had more friends that were coming on, and we were getting murdered by hackers. And so somebody was like, we could play HOTS. We all kind of laughed, and we went, wait, we should play HOTS. And it was a good fucking time. I want to play again tonight, but
if I wasn't so obsessed with Valheim right now, I would be totally down to play HOTS with you. I used to stream a good amount of HOTS back in the early days of BDO, because that was when the game was still like fairly competitive and hadn't quite died as much as it is now. But
well, the queue times aren't bad. The queue times are actually still good if you do a draft pick too, which you can really get fucked if you pick a champion that, like 2-lane versus 3-lane maps are a big difference. And so having that draft pick is actually pretty nice. But yeah, that was my big other game news. I'm still having a ton of fun. The SWG community is so positive. It's so refreshing. It's really nice to move over to that. It's chilled me out a little bit. So I hang out in SWG streams all the time now. And but I'm downloading Van Halen right now. I'll play on Ishk's like little beginner server and hang out with you guys if that's cool for a little bit. I got nothing else going on.
Super wants to play HOTS with us too, dude. We could make a fucking dream team. Monstrosity, Super, those are some gamers.
Yeah,
Monstrosity and I used to fucking pub stomp in HOTS back in the day, man. Those were some good times.
You sure you don't want to play today?
Yes, I've been thinking about Valheim. I literally could not sleep at like 2 a.m. last night because I was like, fuck, I have so much stuff I want to do in this game. I was just staring at the ceiling, thinking about what I'm going to do in Valheim today.
Yo,
I'm like a fucking kid again with this game, dude. It's so fun.
All right, I'm buying it. But when you get a little bit over this, we should definitely do some HOTS. Super's like a pro gamer for something, isn't he?
He's a huge deal.
Yeah. He's such a fucking prick in Among Us things, though.
Yeah, he's terrible at Among Us, but I'm sure he'll be good at HOTS.
No, he's like not even a nice person.
Well, I mean, he's from EU.
Whoa! This is Ocean Shop's job. We can only have one vaguely racist person on a podcast.
EU is barely a race.
think that got worse. Are you playing any other games? Or are you just playing Mr. DJ over there, Potion?
Let's see. What did I do recently? I don't think I've really played anything else. I played Hades. We talked about that last podcast. I don't think
That's
I've played
another good
anything.
ass game.
You're not playing. You're not keeping up with D2. Did you get turned off from that?
Destiny 2 had an update. I'm thinking about doing just a YouTube video on it. I made an old YouTube video, and I'm getting views because people want a new video for the new season. So
Bro, that YouTube video that you made that had all those that answered like some simple question, and you strung it out to like 10 minutes and didn't answer the fucking question.
I answered the question best. Listen, it has 550,000 views.
What the fuck?
And that's because no one else gave it even a halfway shot. All right, it's my most popular video on YouTube, and I didn't even know what I was talking about.
No, you did not.
But the fact is that no one else even tried to answer the question. So I just got all the views because no one else made a video on it, and a ton of people were having problems with it.
My worst video is my most popular on YouTube too. I actually had to take it off because it was so embarrassing. It was like my second YouTube video ever, and it was just so in the algorithm. It had some like clickbait, like how to get rich in BDO passively thing, and I just took a screenshot of my bank. It was like 1.6 billion, and I'm like, make this passively weekly. And so everybody just swarmed to it, and it's me rambling about sending workers, how to send workers and get contribution EXP. Everyone's like, this is a fucking waste of time. I'm like, yeah, but I'm getting your ad money, so I don't really know if I'm upset about this.
There's so much bad BDO content on YouTube. Much bad BDO content. I need to start making BDO content again.
Please do, Daddy, save us a woo.
Okay, well, on that note.
If you guys have anything you want to plug for your streams for the rest of the week, do you guys want to do this again, same time this next week? Move it to Friday? Does that work?
Time generally works for me, yeah.
Yep, this will be good. Yeah, this would be much better because I don't have to ruin my sleep cycle, and I won't be grouchy.
Yeah, okay. So, Nerds and Words. Now, if you guys have something to plug, I'll sign us out afterwards.
So I made a tier list, so you guys can come and check it out at Potion Shop TV on Twitch. You can do exclamation PVE, exclamation tier list, exclamation tier. They're all commands that work. If you're watching this on YouTube, it'll be in the description. There'll be a URL in the description to the tier list. As far as what I'm doing, I'll probably be streaming again starting Monday, and we'll be picking up trying to go for Carousel 9 and our armors.
Cool, dude. And you're just going to be doing as much veiling as you can, right, Merlin?
Yeah, well, I'm going to be making a tier list of other streamers' tier lists. I'm going to be ranking those. I'm going to be ranking those in order from In-N-Out to Whataburger. And then after that, most of the week will be playing Valheim.
People are sending me things on how to pronounce Valheim.
I'm pretty sure it's Valheim.
I think, yeah, it's Vicodin. On behalf of Moreland TV and Potion Shop TV, I'm Tim Allen 1337. Thank you guys for your viewership, your support, and on YouTube or Spotify, or if you're here live, thank you to a special thank you to you guys too. We are going to be moving the podcast to Friday, noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. As that works out a little bit better for all of us. But again, on the behalf of the three of us, this was Nerds and Words episode 33. Hope you guys have an excellent day. We'll see you next week.